Hello, folks. This is Kevin from Good Day, Good Prayers. Today we are going to talk about the Spirit. There was a spirit during the time that Christ was here on the earth that tried to kill Christ. That spirit somehow believed that if it could kill Christ, that it would wind up destroying God's plan. Well, it didn't, did it? Because it killed Jesus Christ and it fulfilled what God wanted to do. Well, that same spirit is here today. And today, Donald Trump is the person that spirit is trying to kill. How do we know that it is the same spirit? First and foremost, that spirit, when it attacked Jesus Christ, it called him the King of the Jews. Well, that spirit is back today, and it's trying to call Donald Trump the king of the entire world. Isn't that interesting? Donald Trump is not trying to be a king. He doesn't want to be a king. In fact, he really doesn't want to be a president either. He was enjoying his life the way it was, and the only reason that he agreed to become president of the United States was because of the fact that we needed him. That was the only reason. He was not interested in the job. He said 35 years before he even ran for office in 2015, he said, I don't want to be president. He says, the only way that I would ever even consider becoming president is if I absolutely had to. And that's the reason why he ran in 2015, because the alliance told him, it is time and we really need you to do it. They said, you don't have to do this, but if you don't, over half of the world's population is going to die. Well, you think about that. Millions of people are going to die because Donald Trump is president. But over 3.5 billion people would have died if he had refused. But let's say that the alliance decided, you know what, we're not going to do anything. Instead of 3.5 billion, it would have been over 6.5 billion people that would have died. There would have been a very few people in Asia that would have survived. Less than 500 million. And that is out of 7+ billion people on the face of the earth. There have been a lot of people that have disappeared. The shots that were given for COVID took out tens of millions of people. Well, the military alliance was able to replace some of those COVID shots with placebos, and they did it several times. In fact, the very first shots that came out were placebos, and they came out at the hands of the military. And then all of a sudden, Moderna and Pfizer started coming out with theirs. And every time that they would come out with theirs and they would start, suddenly they would be replaced. And it would be more placebos. And then more would show up on the scene, and suddenly they would be replaced with placebos. Why was that happening? So that the military could save the lives of the people that were taking the shots. Some of those people were taking 5 and 6 and 7 shots, as many shots as they could get. There were people that took 1 shot, and unfortunately it was like Russian roulette. If you pull the trigger and the gun goes off, you're dead. Well, same thing with the COVID shots. If you happened to go to get the COVID shot when Pfizer or Moderna or Johnson & Johnson or whoever had their shots in place, then the chances were you'd die. But nobody could sue those people, could they? Well, the same thing is happening today. There's a spirit out there who is calling President Trump the king. Well, he doesn't even want to be the president. He certainly doesn't want to be the king. Donald Trump will tell you that Jesus Christ is the king. He is the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. Now, in the day, that spirit was attacking Jesus, and he ultimately took Jesus down. I believe that God is going to protect Donald Trump. The reason I believe he's going to protect President Trump is because of the fact that President Trump is going to be the one that introduces the king. He speaks very wonderfully about Jesus Christ. He talks about how much he loves Jesus Christ. He has a Bible, and that Bible is from his family, and that Bible was one of the things that was owned by one of the people in his family that is known for having started the greatest revival in history in Europe. And he holds that Bible with great love because of the fact that that Bible means a lot to him. It belonged to someone that also meant a lot to him. Somebody who serves somebody who means a lot to him, Jesus Christ. You can say anything you want about Donald Trump. You can say that he's not a Christian. You can say this or that, or he wants to be king, or he this or that. The fact of the matter is, President Trump is on the side of righteousness. The things that he has done proves that he's on the side of righteousness. If you are on the opposite side, you're not on the side of righteousness. You might tell yourself that you're on the right side, but you're not. This situation that's happening in America today with all of these riots that are coming up, the Walton family that runs Walmart was very big in the advertising of this. And there are many, many countries that are represented in all of these riots, and they are attacking America. And there's about 6 to 8% of the population that is on the side of all of these attacks that are going on. How do you know when this whole thing is over if you're even going to be allowed to stay in America? You are an American citizen today, but you may not have any choice as to what place you happen to go. Now, we've talked about, where do you go if you're, not a Christian and you refuse to serve Jesus Christ? But this is different. Where do you wind up going if you are an American citizen and you're fighting on the side of those people that are trying to destroy the United States? Where will they send you? Who will you have to live with? You should think about it. It's bad enough that you're going to have a hard time being able to be a part of the new economy that's going to be put in place. And the new economy is going to be beautiful. It's called the greatness, for goodness sakes. It's going to be beautiful. What if not only are you not able to be a part of the economy, what if you're no longer allowed to be a part of the United States? What would you do? This is Kevin from Good Day, Good Prayers. Please remember to give us a thumbs up and to subscribe to our channel, and as well as the DSR Chats channel. Thank you. But most of all, you have a good day. The way you have a good day is if your good prayers reach the throne of God. And yes, if that happens, you will have